Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hey, ladies. Hey, girls. How y'all?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, my gosh. I feel like we haven't seen each other in forever. Like,
I
so
know.
excited.
It's been a minute.
It really has been. I am so excited about, like, almost like a reunion here. There are still some other Freestyle Friday experts that would make it a true reunion, but I am so glad to see you all. So how's everything been going over there for you, Sharon D. Brown?
Yeah, everything has been going really, really well for me. I'm just excited to be here and always, just be in the company of great women.
Same here. How about you over there, sunshine expert all the way in New York area?
I know. I am just super excited. When you text me and I was like, I'm going to be traveling. Then I said, hold on, why I cannot bring the show from New York and still do what I got to do? Come on. Yes. I could Freestyle Friday over here in Queens, New York, too.
Yeah. All right. Freestyle Friday wherever you are. All right. Yes. Tell us, Natasha, in the Ontario, Canada area, how are things going for you?
Things are fantastic. I am so excited to be here. And like you said, it's not a full reunion, but I'm so happy to be here with all y'all today.
Of course, we have and you know what? I have to do a different kind of thing with this particular woman. And I do this on purpose because this woman is our expert of many different hats. And so I was like, oh, let me get some hats. Find out all these hats.
Lord.
Our person, Vicki L. Evans, gets the opportunity to strut around the community and look at all these hats. How are you doing, Vicki L. Evans? Talk to us.
I am doing well. I'm so glad to be back. Yay! It's been a while.
It really has. And you know what? In the studio audience, let us know who you all are too. We'd love to acknowledge you and put some comments up throughout today's discussion. The thing is, Vicki, first of all, we missed you. And so I just want you to know that.
Yes, we miss you, but we enjoyed the picture she sent too. Yes.
Yes, I have been working. I have been preparing for my future, and I've been traveling. That's why I got my New York hat on, because my last destination was New York. Had a great time. So
awesome.
Love that hat.
Anybody else traveled anywhere recently that you want to share right quick?
My travels are coming up. I'm going to Bali next month.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
So excited.
So excited. Yes.
What made you choose Bali?
So they have there's a global speaker summit that happens every 2 years. And so I literally put my deposit September 2022. This trip is 2 years in the making, and I am so excited. It's all coming together. I'm just going to have a fantastic time. The speaker summit's going to be great. We're staying long enough that I get to ring in my 50th before I come home. So I'm turning up.
If it's a Freestyle Friday during that time that you're there and you want to pop on and show yourself, your grown self at 50 years old, feel free to pop on and pop back out by all means. Okay.
50 where, Natasha? 50 where, sis? Girl, you look fabulous.
Oh, my goodness. The key to looking young is to love Jesus and laugh a lot.
Absolutely.
Love Jesus and laugh a lot. Don't type that in the comment section. Love Jesus and laugh a lot. And you actually do some comedy. So that's something that you are gifted at doing, right?
Yes.
So you intentionally make people laugh.
Intentionally and unintentionally. Like yesterday when I fell at church. And so I'm like, Lord, why you got me like writing material here right in the church? Because you got me dropping and making a fool of myself, but it's okay. I'm fine.
That's funny. I think I unintentionally make people laugh, even though I'm like, I'm definitely not a comedian, and I actually don't find much stuff like funny. But for whatever reason, I'm like, are they laughing at me or with me? Because it's like people are laughing, and I'm not intending for them to even be laughing at that moment, you know?
Hey, Rwana from New York. I love your city.
Hey, put the comments
Your
up.
state.
Hey, oh, it's Rose
Yes.
from New York. Woo-woo.
Oh, Rose. Hi, Rose from New York.
Yay, everybody likes your city. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. One of my sons, he was like, oh, no, there's too much going on around here for me.
It is a lot.
When I was in New York City, it was cold one time. We went to visit the Empire State Building and some other things. And I literally went to scratch my leg and my skin came off. That's freezer frost or whatever that is. That's too much.
Oh my!
That's Eastern Seaboard cold. It's something.
Wow.
That threw me off. I mean, and it's like it's still a little mark on my leg from that. So that's one of my memories from New York. I had a ball, but just when I scratched my leg, it was so cold that the skin came off.
And it dries you up.
Yeah, big time. All right, so today, y'all, on Freestyle Friday, get your minds right. We are going to be talking about a wide variety of topics, and anything that you want to discuss as well, you can just put it right in the comment section. We will make sure that we do everything we can to get to it. Yes, good morning to you. And I see different ones of you that come on, and you don't necessarily put comments, so it's not that I'm trying to ignore you. I just don't. I see all of you that pop on, but you have to put some comments so I can actually formally acknowledge you. Well, when we come back right after our commercial break, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's see. Anybody want to be first? Anybody want to talk? Okay. Why would I think the woman of many hats would not raise her hand? The woman with the New York hat on, Vicki L. Evans, is going to talk to us from her heart today, right when we come back right after this commercial break. We'll be right back, everyone. Mackenzie, take it away. Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina. We back already? Okay.
Okay.
That was a short commercial.
Yeah, no, you know what? Mackenzie, I'll do it back here because I think some kind of way.
Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to eWomenNetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community.
All right, everyone, we are back. And yes, eWomenNetwork.com/Charlotte. No matter where you are in the country, over the 500,000 members that exist, you can definitely connect with me and I'll connect you to your appropriate managing director. Our events are held here on the third Thursday of every month, typically right at the Charlotte Museum of History. And so we welcome you to be a part of the Charlotte chapter if you are anywhere in the near area and surrounding areas. Okay. Vicki L. Evans, talk to us with your New York hat on today and them beautiful glasses. You're muted though, so we love your expressions, but we just don't hear you. You look cute though.
Love it. Bling on the hat, bling on the glasses. That's right.
Hello, everyone. I'm muted now. How are you?
Doing great.
All right. Listen, you guys, I want to just talk to you for a few minutes. Can I just talk like Joan Rivers used to say? Can we just talk for a minute? Yes. So listen, I like Natasha. Natasha is turning 50. Well, I'm going to reveal my age just for the sake of this episode. So I this past May, turned 65 years old.
Get out of here.
So, yes, but it seems like 65 years old is for some kind of reasons, a monumental age, because people at 65 started to treat me a little different. I'm eligible for Medicare. I'm eligible for all these different things. And, even the insurance I had, they was like, hey, you're going to have to go apply for Medicare because you're eligible now. So it got me thinking about different stages of life. And at first I said, okay, so I'm entering a different stage of life. And at first I said, okay, so it's the fourth quarter for me. That's what I want to talk about today, the fourth quarter. Then I start researching the fourth quarter. Actually, I am not in the fourth quarter of my life. I'm in the third quarter. Yes, I'm in the third quarter. From 50 to 75 is the third quarter.
Okay.
From 75 on up, that's the fourth quarter. So I said, okay, that's interesting to find out. And I wanted to, even as a business person, I said, okay, so what quarter are we in right now? We're in the third quarter. In October, we're going to enter into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So what's significant about the fourth quarter? Now, if you don't know me, I'm going to tell you right now, I am an avid football fan.
Yes, here we go. Yes. Here we go.
Avid football. Even though I have NY on my hat right now, I am not a New York Giants fan. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan all the way. So, if you don't know about football, let me just tell you a little thing. Let me tell you a little bit about the fourth quarter and why the fourth quarter is so important. So the fourth quarter brings the game to a climax, right? With about 15 minutes. So each quarter is like 15 minutes. So you're in your last 15-minute period of play. The teams enter this quarter, they enter it with a sense of urgency that the outcome of the game is in the balance. So I look at that and I apply that to my life. The outcome of the game hangs in the balance, and that there should be a heightened sense of urgency.
Yes.
A heightened sense of urgency. That's how I feel about my life. I have a urgent sense of urgency, a heightened sense of urgency. I have the urgency to fulfill my dreams. That's one of the reasons I was in New York. I was like, I have a dream. I'm like Martin Luther King. I have a dream to produce my stage plays. If you don't know, I'm a playwright, producer, director as well. And so I've written several stage plays that I have produced all over the world, here in Charlotte, Tennessee, Georgia, came from Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. So I've traveled throughout the U.S. producing my plays, but there is a specific place that I want to produce, and that's New York. New York, I love you, and I want to bring my plays to New York. So this beginning of August, I went to New York. I met with a producer, and I talked about bringing my plays to New York because it's, for me, I'm entering real soon into the fourth quarter. And so entering into the fourth quarter means that I have a window of time to fulfill my dream. So I have a sense of urgency to do that. I have a sense of urgency to leave a legacy for my family. Yes, yes, I want to leave a legacy for my family. So I have a sense of urgency because I know that I'm about to enter into the fourth quarter. So it's important that I lay down the groundwork to make sure my family is taken care of. Yes, I have, once again, a sense of urgency to fulfill my divine calling. Yes, I have a sense of urgency because it is now time that we spread the gospel of the good news of Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian, so therefore that's important to me. So I have a sense of urgency to fulfill that destiny because I believe I was called to encourage others so that their life will be so much better. Life for me is so much better knowing that I am a child of my Creator. So there's a sense of urgency because I know I'm about to enter into the fourth quarter. So I want to tell you some things about where your life is right now, because really, we don't have time to play. And I know I don't. I have more time behind me than probably I have in front of me. And I'm not cutting my destiny off short. I'm just being realistic that there's a possibility I have more time, I've lived more time behind me than I have in front of me. So it's important that in this fourth quarter, I want to give you a few points. First, it's important for me to be intentional. Be intentional.
And somebody type these points. Type the points. Be intentional.
Number one, be intentional. Make specific choices that align with your divine destiny. And if you don't know what your divine destiny, what are you doing right now? What is the most important thing in your life that you are accomplishing right now? What is the one thing that you focus on the most? I'm a writer, so the majority of my time, of my day, of my destiny is I focus on writing, whether it's writing plays, whether it's writing a book, whether it's writing in my journal, whether it's writing on Facebook, because I know that is what I am called to do. Send out messages that impact the world through my writing. So be intentional. And anything that doesn't align with that destiny, then I have to refocus and recalibrate so that I will stay in line with my destiny. Be intentional. That's the first point. Point number two. Oh, and I do this, baby. Live life unapologetically and without regret. Without regret. So I have come to the point where I live my life without regret because there is a purpose for everything. And if you look at life like this, it's either a blessing or a lesson. A blessing or a lesson. If it did not turn out the way that you desired, take it as a lesson. Take it as a lesson and learn from it. Say, what could I have done differently? If I do this the next time, what will I do differently? I'm going to use this because I want a different result the next time. So live your life without regret, because for every season there is a purpose, and for every purpose there is a season. That's number two. Number three, I have 5 points. Number three, you're not too old and it's not too late. You're not too old and it's not too late. And actually, that was my affirmation on Pinterest this morning. It told me, you're not too old and it's not too late. So do not let excuses bind you up and cause you not to reach your divine destiny because you think, oh, I can't accomplish that. It's too late for me. Oh, I can't do that. I'm too old to do that. No, baby. As long as you have breath in your body, you're not too old and it's not too late. Okay. Point number 4, and we're almost on the 4th quarter. We are almost around this bend. It's not how you start, baby. It's how you finish. It's not how you start. It's how you finish. You know, on this journey of life, there are going to be times where you have hurdles. You know, there are going to be times when you got to push the pause button. But let me say this to you. Baby, you may have to pause, but don't you quit. Take a rest if you have to, but please do not quit. Make it to the finish line and finish strong. It's not how you start, baby. It's how you finish, okay? And my last point, very last point, be the quarterback of your own life. I'm going to say that one more time. Be the quarterback of your own life. Listen, I carry my own ball. I'm my own unique person. I am the team captain of my life. God is my coach. He tells me what plays that I need to do. Back to football. He is my coach, and he is calling the plays, but I am carrying the ball. All right? So I say that to you. We're in the 4th quarter. It's time for you to have a sense of urgency so that you can make it to the finish line. I am Vicki L. Evans, a woman of many hats, playwright, producer, writer, theater review person, self-esteem coach, of all of those things and so much more. And I am so glad to be here to encourage you today.
And she approves this message.
Okay.
All right, y'all, listen, I know it. We started off strong right here on the Kim Jacobs Show with Vicki L. Evans. And how you can stay connected with her is VickiLEvans.com. You can also email her at VickiLEvans@gmail.com. Listen, I would love for you all in the panel here, because once you hear that, you know you biting at the bit to say something about something. Right? Say something, a little something. Unmute yourself and say something that is standing out for a sense of urgency for you in your 4th quarter. Any of you who want to go first? Let's go.
So let me say,
go.
I think Miss Vicki, you was in my prayer closet when I was writing my message, ma'am. And I mean, you hit so many points. So I ain't gonna take up the time. My time is coming up to say something, but for me, it was the 2, be intentional, and then
well, you were typing all the points, by the way.
She took
so you may not have your own notes over here, but listen, here they are over here. You typed all of these. Be intentional. I think you're frozen. She's frozen.
She's frozen.
Okay. Oh, she's frozen. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead, Sharon. Even though she cute frozen, I'll leave her there for a minute and I'll take her back out stage.
You're in the 4th quarter. Come on, you guys, take that ball and lead it to the finish line.
Go ahead, Sharon. You have anything?
Yeah, this is definitely very powerful. It's almost like everything that she said I resonated with, pretty much with all points, and especially what she was saying, in the end, it's like you are the coach. You know what I'm saying? You're the captain. You're the captain, and it's like, oh, wow. And so it's kind of like, if you think that you're falling behind, oh, no, you don't have to worry about it, because you can go up because God is on your side, and you move up because you're the captain. So, oh, yeah, Vicki, everything that you said just definitely resonated.
I love it.
So listen, I don't know if you saw in the comments, I was like, we're going to have to take an up and offering today because this is church. Vicki, you were preaching up in here. I was like, come on. I'm on mute and I'm hearing in my head, well, I was ready to open talk. That was some sincere, but Such good points. And I love what you said because there's a lot of reminders. We sometimes start to write ourselves off as we age. Mm-hmm. And if we have breath in our lungs, God's saying, I got stuff for you to do, and I'm not done with you yet. The Bible says he will continue a work until it is finished. So, girl, you just reminded people, keep on working, get back in the game, stay in line with your destiny, and it's never too late. I loved every word you said.
Thank you.
Okay, so mine is, I loved every word you said too. And the thing is, what it made me feel like is some things that God had been putting in my heart and things that's getting ready to be revealed and birthed through me that he's given me to do, right? And I was contemplating, Vicki, about, okay, what's going to be my style? What's going to be this? What's going to be that? You know what? What I'm going to do is just be me, and everything that God has given me over the course of my life, I'm just going to let all of that come through in the Jesus experience that they're going to experience when they come and fellowship with us, you know? So I am like, I don't have to worry about, is it going to be this robotic? I'm in the I'm thinking about the fourth quarter. And that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking about the fourth quarter and what legacy I want to leave and what do I want to be remembered for with that dash. I want to be remembered that I am a child of God, that I am a person that no matter what happened in my life, no matter what the circumstances were, I picked the ball up, became the quarterback, and I ran towards the goal, right? At the end of the day, I want him to say, well done, thy good and faithful servant, Kim. You did exactly what I wanted you to do. And I'm just grateful for what you shared. And it motivates me beyond measure. You can't even imagine. All right. Can I pull you back in, Sunshine Expert? Thumbs up. All right. Okay. You were frozen, but you were cute frozen. So we left you frozen for a second. Which was your takeaway?
My takeaway was be intentional, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So them were my two takeaways that I feel all of it was a good word, all 5 points, but them were my two that resonated well with me. So yes.
Woo! Y'all, anybody in the studio audience, I saw all kinds of comments. Let's pop a lot of this up. I saw some that I just saved over here. Yes, a sense of urgency. Mackenzie, you can pop some up too. I'm over here in the star section, so you can just take over and pop some, do a flash round of comments that came in. And I'll leave it alone because you're back there doing this. Because sometimes I'll do her job. She like, can I do my own job? So Mackenzie, go ahead and pop some comments up, sweetie, if you don't mind.
And can I make a comment of what's on the screen that Natasha said? You got to know what your destiny is and line up with it. Sometimes we are over here doing this and doing that and do all kinds of things. What have you been called to do and make that a priority in your life?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you. Okay, that man that just put a comment. Who was that? Marcus Green. He said, I'm a man. But go back to that one comment. You said, when Natasha said, mic drop. Oh,
at the end, that was a moment.
And Marcus said, I'm a man, but that totally encouraged me. Yes.
Thank you, Marcus.
Finish strong. All of us, let's finish strong. Whatever God has given you to do, let's finish it strong. Vicki, you just tore the house down. Come on now. That's right. She preached, she ministered the gospel to us just through the fourth quarter analogy. Fire. It was fire. All right, y'all. Lots of comments came in, and I have about 12 of them over here starred. So we'll keep popping comments up. Be the quarterback of your own life. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's, you're not too old. It's not too late. Make moves in line with your divine destiny. These are all things that Vicki L. Evans just brought to the stage in New York City today on the Kim Jacobs Show. All right, so we're going to keep it moving, and let's go over to you, Sharon D. Brown. Vicki, you preaching, girl. We may have to take up an offering today because we're in church here on the Kim Jacobs Show, messing with you, Vicki L. Evans. Okay. All right. Let's get ready to hear from our Freestyle Friday expert, our self-carepreneur expert who merges and bridges together finances, health, and wealth, and you name it, she does it. Sharon D. Brown, take it away.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah. And so, again, I'm Sharon D. Brown, and I'm the founder of Self Care U Academy. And pretty much this is where I merge everything together. And so, today, what I want to pretty much talk about and really just bring awareness to is that today is National Grief Awareness Day. And so, even though we had that beautiful talk about from Vicky, and this may sound a little bit like, oh, but there's power in grief. And that's kind of like the point that I want to make. And so, by being National Grief Awareness Day, it is to acknowledge, those of the living, not just those who's passed, but then also for those of you, including myself, who have lost a loved one, to be able to acknowledge them, but acknowledge yourself. Because for anyone who has lost someone, there's those periods of those up and down. And so one of the point that I want to make, and I feel, and even as a therapist, because it took me the longest, even in me providing therapy for others, to realize this part of it is one thing that pretty much kind of get overlooked is the visceral effect of grief. And the visceral effect, that is pretty much when it comes to your body, you feel it in your body. You may have a stomach ache, you feel the tension, you may have impaired sleep, even anxiety, and even with depression. But those parts of it gets missed a lot. And so a lot of times, and even though I would say that there's different stages and levels of grief. And so sometimes it can really break a person down. But one thing that I would say about that, when you are addressing the visceral effect, the physical effect of grief, then that would help, I would say, move it along the process. Because again, everyone is different and everyone is at different stages. But think about this, like as you are living, when you allow yourself to pretty much be in the movement of the grief, it's a way to celebrate your loved one as well. And so if you think about just like, oh, what's their favorite music, their favorite song? And yes, there may be a little sigh, but you can also have that gratitude for them in that memory. Because the thing is, and I'm going to kind of add this to what Vicky was saying, for those of us who are living, we are here to honor and to continue that legacy of our loved ones. And so in order for us to do that, we need to be able to pretty much be our full self. Yes. And again, I'm very careful of how I'm saying this because because I know that grief, because it really does have that, that sadness, and people have a hard time with it. And I'm not overlooking that. I want people to know that. But what I also know that too, in order to have your goodness and where your divine destination is, your divine assignment is for you to be alive. It's for you to be able to move in the way that you need to be able to move. And so again, by you addressing the visceral effect of grief, then you'll be able to think clearly, do the things, just everything that needs to be. So one way of doing that is, I kind of call it, I have a weekly group called Fortitude Spirit Rituals. And when you think about the word fortitude in and of itself, fortitude is to have strength or courage in the midst of challenges, adversity, and all of that stuff. And of course, in losing someone, that is ongoing. But the thing is to sustain, because sometimes people think of adversity of like a one event. And with grief, it's not a one event in and of itself. It's like what can you do to not just be alive, but to have that light inside of you. And so again, when you are addressing and you're building yourself up to sustain life, you are allowing yourself to sustain your goodness and also honor that person's legacy as well, because they need you to be your full authentic self so you can, I guess you say, carry on God's grace, what he has for you. And so just continue to do all the things that's necessary so that you can live in the light. And so with Fortitude Spirit Rituals, pretty much it's almost kind of like, if everybody remember the Karate Kid, I kind of call it, there's a method to the madness. You're like, well, Sharon, what me breathing got anything to do with grief, or anything to do with me making decisions, or anything with me to do with, different things? Or what does dancing have to do with it? Or what does me doing, 100 sit-ups have to do with it? It has everything to do with it, because everything that you do builds your life. And so it's about sustaining the light. If you remember it that way, sustaining the light inside of you so that you can be alive, so that you can, whatever it is that you were born to do, you're able to do that despite the grief that you have. And so I'm going to sit with that. And for those of you who want to join me on Saturdays, and it's 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because you are here to do whatever it takes to keep your light burning.
Okay, we're gonna have to take a general offering and just divide it, because I'm telling you right now, y'all, at 7 a.m. on Saturday, I'm typing this, Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. What is it called? One more time.
Fortitude Spirit Rituals.
Fortitude Spirit Rituals. And this is with Sharon D. Brown. And how would they get the information about it?
Yeah, pretty much if they contact me through social media, the best one is Instagram. I am Sharon D. Brown, and they can contact me there.
Okay, I just typed what you said there, and I am going to pull your information up, because you guys, Sharon is such a calming force. And everybody, we all have our own gifts and our own unique talents. And what I love about Freestyle Friday is you get a chance to get just a little sampling of a wide variety of things, and you can pick and choose which person you resonate with the most. That you're like, I need whoosha in my life. Then you're gonna get some Sharon. If you want, come on, let's go, you got it, and you're gonna get some Vicky L. Evans, because she's like, you ain't gonna sit beside me and not move forward in the fourth quarter. We got to turn it up a notch, right? So you're going to get different things. If you want some sunshine in your life and you just want some balance and trying to figure out how you're going to maneuver this thing in life, you're going to get some sunshine expert over there. And if you want your mental health to be stable, you're going to get the mental health with Natasha Halliday over there. So, okay, Sharon, that was powerful what you just shared. Grief Awareness Day, first of all, is huge. And all of us have experienced some level of grief. And in the studio audience, if you want to share any things that's a takeaway for you, please share it as well. I do want to let people know that Gabe's Heart, because this is probably the best time for me to say this, Gabe's Heart Foundation, I do that to celebrate my son and to help keep his heart beating here on this earth. And every year we have a 5K walk. It's normally it's normally in September, but this year we intentionally moved it. Vicky, we moved it to the fourth quarter. We moved it to October 19th. And the reason we're doing it on October 19th this year is because it's Sudden Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month that month. So Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month is taking place in October. So October 19th, everybody, no matter where you are in the country, because you can even walk virtually, you can participate 8 a.m. in our 9th annual 5K walk. The funds that we raise are being raised so that we could get more defibrillators put in public spaces around the country where young people congregate. And if you want to go to gabesheartfoundation.org, all of the information is there. You can go ahead and get your t-shirts. You can donate. You can actually be a sponsor. And if you want to be a sponsor, your image will be placed on the back of the t-shirts. So sponsors, typically I let the sponsors pay. They give different amounts. Some sponsors give $100. Some sponsors give $3,000. So you name it, we have a wide variety of sponsors. If you're interested in being a sponsor, you can email me, kim@gabesheartfoundation.org, and let me know your interest, and we'll get your sponsorship package together. And I also want to acknowledge that our newest logo that was slightly tweaked a little bit came from Mariah Hall, and she put this new variation of our logo. It's absolutely beautiful. And I do want to take a moment to just acknowledge anytime people on our team are doing projects like this on a volunteer basis. So thank you, Mariah, for creating this beautiful, fresh logo. Everybody take a moment and go to gabesheartfoundation.org and get your stuff situated so you could be a part of the 5K walk. You can also print the registration form and be ready to go. All right. So that's how I'm keeping my son's heart beating as we honor Grief Awareness Day. All right, y'all. Any questions, comments? We had a lot of comments come in as well. Again, I starred some of them. And let's see. Be in the movement. What do you all feel? Anybody want a quick 1 minute or so comment about being in the movement of your grief and how that helps you celebrate your loved one?
I like that because it speaks to me about the physiology of emotions. The movement helps keep it going because we get stuck physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
And we don't have a handbook on how to grieve. So sometimes what we're doing, we do, and then we don't recognize, but we can't necessarily stay there. There's times where it might be appropriate and we can't stay. So that really reminded me that, there has to be movement in that grief process.
That's good. Very good. Anybody else?
Yes. When I think about grief, it's not an invited guest. Most of the time, it comes at various times, of course, and you can't plan for it. But the one thing about it is that there are stages of grief, and and it's individualized. Everybody have their own individual timetable of how they deal with grief. And I had to realize that too when when my beautiful mother transitioned in 2022. There were different stages, and even now I still deal with it. 2 years later, it's not something that you like, oh girl, you need to be over that and be done with. It doesn't happen that way. And so I just wanted to encourage anyone who is going through it, give yourself some grace and allow yourself to go through it no matter how long it takes, as long as you are functioning. That's the word in that grief. I want to say that. And if you're not, go get some help, get a grief counselor, do whatever you need to do.
That's good. Good. Did you have anything you want to say, Sunshine? Expert?
Yeah, I be looking for grief. Again, I agree with all my sisters here on the panel. There's no timetable to it. There's no how long it's gonna take you to experience. And yes, it has the sides and the ahs and the crying moments. And in those moments, for me, what I try to encourage family and friends that are grieving, is that, find the sunshine in that, find the light in that, and that'll help keep you moving. So that's normally because there's no proper, like we all said, there's no handbook, there's no proper words to say. There's not even, to me, not trying to be disrespectful to anyone when people say, I can't imagine or I understand. But if you haven't gone through it, if you haven't walked that person's journey, we don't know. So the best thing for me when it comes to grief is just always trying to be a positive light. Like, my favorite thing to say to people is, keep the fond memories of the loved one that have transitioned on, what have made you smile? Think of something that you can, oh, I remember, we spent time at, we might have hiked the mountain together, for an example. And that, that's a fond memory. That's a happy moment to say, yes, get the crying out. No problem. Let's get that out. Then now let's regroup, refresh, and let's look at the happy moments. So I like that, sharing that she shared that.
Well, yeah. One way that we do it, we keep Gabe in the middle of everything that we do. So when we
Absolutely.
take a picture, we just include him some kind of way. And when I sign cards, I sign his name and say Gabe from heaven. He's still an active part of our everyday lives. And even though those are simple examples, but it just makes me feel better. So thank you, Sharon. That was powerful. And we really appreciate what you shared today. Grief awareness. Anybody else that's dealing with stuff, please make sure that you put it over in the comment section. And most importantly, connect with Sharon D. Brown. You can find her on Instagram at Sharon D. Brown. I am Sharon D. Brown. And then you can also, mainly on Instagram, find her over there. And then when you do, connect with her about the spiritual workshops that she has. It's not even workshops. It's just a spiritual awakening moment in time. Saturdays at 7 a.m. every Saturday. You can connect with her. Okay. All right. Let's go to Natasha Halliday, who's getting prepared for her 50th birthday in Bali at some point.
Yes.
Working it. So go ahead, girl. Take it away.
Good morning. Good morning. So today I wanted to talk about overthinking. We're coming up to the beginning of the school year. Students are starting to get ready for school. Some have started school. And I find, because I teach too, I see this all the time. It's not just students, all of us can do this, but we have this way of, we start to think and then we think about what we're thinking. We keep thinking and we keep thinking and it goes off and then we end up immobilized in our thoughts. And so I wanted to talk a little bit today about that whole thing about overthinking, especially for anybody who experiences it to a really high degree. Why do we overthink? Well, some of the reasons we overthink is we are fearing not making the right decision. So we keep evaluating what the options are. And for anybody who heard me talk about fear, I always say that fear is the E in fear, I always say, is the evaluation. We can get stuck in a loop of evaluation, right? It causes us to flee from things, evaluate too much, avoid, and rationalize to the point where, again, we're not doing anything. So that evaluation stage can lead to a paralysis, right? We just stay in that. What about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And then what we don't realize is we speed up and it's like a train that's losing control. So overthinking can take us in a direction past where we want to go, but then we're not really getting anywhere, right? We can overthink because we have made poor decisions maybe in the past. And so again, it's that fear of doing something wrong or really wanting to make sure that you are taking all the things into consideration, maybe not knowing what to do with the options that come to you. So there's lots of different reasons why we might get into that overthinking. What's important is, if you know this about yourself, is starting to learn to pause as quickly as you can in that process. Because what happens is sometimes we don't see the spiraling process start. I know if I'm having conversations, and this is part of the strategy, is guard the conversations you have in that frame of mind, because sometimes we don't realize we get into a conversation, our speech speeds up because we're getting activated, and all we do is keep running over possibility over possibility over possibility. And it's like, but when is the pause to go, what step and what direction am I actually going to take? So it's really important to, as soon as you catch yourself, pause. And it's like, think about like a literal machine moving, pump the brakes, just stop for a moment. Now, the hard part is people always say, I don't know how to pull myself out of that.
Yes.
Right. And so this is one of the things I talk about all the time is, you can't just say, well, don't think about it. Because if I tell you not to think about it, you're going to think about it. If I say right now, don't look up, what do people want to do? They want to look up. But we can't tell our brains, because our brains are little oppositional children sometimes. We can't tell our brains what not to do. Instead, we guide it with something else. So if I don't want to think something, I have to offer it another thing to think about. And sometimes when we're highly activated, we don't know how to access those things. So one of the things to do when you're overthinking is have a moment of distraction. Have a break to watch something quick, funny on YouTube and laugh. Have a moment to reflect on a positive memory. Separate yourself from the environment. Literally, physically walk out the room and go to something else. Get your mind on something else, because what we don't realize is as our heart rate's increasing and we're getting more activated, all of that's feeding that overthinking. When we step into something else, we often start to slow down. For people who don't get, some people find trying to do deep breathing makes them fear hyperventilating. If you're not one of those people, use your breath to regulate your pace. Ground yourself. So for anybody who's heard about grounding techniques, involve all your senses. What are the things that you're seeing in the room? What are the things that you're smelling? Do you taste anything? Pause to, do you taste what you ate an hour ago? Take a sip of something to taste it. Give your mind something else to focus on, because otherwise it's just scrambling. It's almost like trying to grab things that are moving away from you. And so we don't realize how frantic we can become in that place of overthinking. So it's important to pause, pump those brakes, take some time to ground yourself. And there's in acceptance and commitment therapy, they talk about something called cognitive diffusion. And so it's strategies. If you think about your thoughts like a bomb that could detonate, what are the things that are going to diffuse the bomb so it doesn't go right? So how are we going to step into things that do not allow that bomb to go off? Well, one of the things that's really important is to remember my thoughts are just thoughts. We sometimes take our thoughts as gospel truth, but some real silly things pop into our heads. So we have to pause and sometimes laugh at our thoughts, challenge our thoughts, recognize they are just thoughts. I heard the best thing ever. I wish I'd come up with this myself. I had a client who told me she named her anxiety. And so let's just say she called her anxiety Susie. She's like, oh no, Susie, we not going to do that today. And she talks back to it because it helps her separate herself and step outside of it. So when we get caught, because it's almost like being inside in that whirlwind of a tornado, when we're inside those spiraling thoughts, we have to get outside of that to see it from a different angle so that we can tackle it in a different way. So it's really important when we catch ourselves in overthinking and getting up that pace, pausing, grounding yourself, regrouping, recognizing that if you're fearing making the wrong decision, the truth is if you make the so-called wrong decision, then you try something else. It's not over. Just like when Vicky said, you keep going. It's not over if you made the wrong decision. And one of the things I love was when they interviewed, I think it was Thomas Edison about the light bulb. He said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I had 1,000 steps. And that perspective is so important, because if you so-called get it wrong, you've actually learned something that doesn't work. And you can take that into as you move forward. So now I know that doesn't work. I'm not going to go in that direction. So is it a loss? No, it actually gives you more information about how to successfully do something moving forward. But it's that perspective can agitate us, and that's part of why we overthink. So it's really important to look at, how do I pull myself outside of those spiraling thoughts? How do I bring some calm, right? Focus on what you're doing well. Gratitude is huge, because gratitude is the recalculation on your GPS. When I'm in the direction of the negative, my GPS, my gratitude goes recalculating. I'm going to go in the direction and notice there are good things in my life. What it teaches you something about the fact that where we focus, it has such an impact on us. So when you're overthinking, part of what's accelerating you is what you're focused on. You might need to shift your focus, even if it's temporary. You might have to think about the thing that contributed to the overthinking, but stepping out of that frantic pace, calming down, and then regrouping. Get people involved if there's people who can help you with that process and help keep you grounded so that you're not just spiraling in that place. But it's really important to develop some strategies so that we don't, because what ends up happening is a lot of people end up in decision paralysis. Mm-hmm. They cannot make decisions because there's so much fear about the outcome of those decisions. And that overthinking takes up so much time and space and energy. It's draining to overthink. So if I'm overthinking all the time, I'm so worn out by that, I might need a nap afterwards. I then go from overthinking to sleeping, and I still haven't done half of the stuff I was thinking about doing. Okay. Using to-do lists, not everybody likes them. I love me a to-do list, and I actually once heard in a presentation, a guy called it a to-done list because I like highlighting what I've gotten done, and that wording for him. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna have a to-done list so I can list all the things I've done. So now if I'm going through things I have to do in my day, and I do something that I didn't put on the list, I add it to the list and cross it off so I can say I did even more. I've done even more.
That's me.
Right? But these things are really important. Leave the past behind. Sometimes overthinking happens because of how crowded our thoughts are. And we can't sift through where we need to go in our thinking. If you think about your thoughts like being in a physical room, is the room something that looks like it should be starred on hoarders? Clear out some of that room. And if it's filled with files from your past, where do those files need to be? They don't need to be at the forefront of your thinking for everything you've done. For everything you're going to do. So it's important to recognize that. And if you really don't know how to implement strategies, figure this out, seek some help. Talk to somebody who manages overthinking well, maybe see a therapist. I'm always going to plug therapy. I'm a therapist. It doesn't have to be about severe mental illness. It can just be about helping get strategies to manage things that you haven't figured out how to manage on your own.
That's so good.
I probably go on way more, but I'm looking at the time.
We'll go back to another Freestyle Friday anyway. That's some good stuff that you shared. So that's another preached, drop the mic moment for our mental health. And our thoughts are just thoughts. Name that thought. Name that thought was a big takeaway for me. I'm going to name it. I'm going to give it a name today. Okay, anybody else had a takeaway from what was shared?
I like the word decision paralysis. I've never heard that before. And I can see that being an issue because, I have to admit, I was a farmer. Hopefully I'm over that overthinking thing because, oh, Lord, I'll be like, okay, I wear that thought out, from here to there to there. What should we, just mess myself all up overthinking. So, and now I have a name for it now. Decision paralysis.
That's good.
So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I really like the what do you call it? The done list. I really like that because sometimes it can make us feel overwhelmed if we have all of this to do and we're not checking off, especially highlighting what has been done. And just as a side note, when our overfeeling comes, it comes into our body, and then so I guess you could say the movement will be to get it done.
Get it done. I've already been doing that the whole time as the balance doctor. I automatically, I leave it on there. I scratch it out, highlight it, and put a smiley face because I want to see my accomplishments. I do not want to have a big to-do list and no to done. So I agree 100%. And I actually have a must-do, and it's only 3 things that I put on there for primarily, and the rest of it sometimes has to get carried over to the next day. So it's okay. All right. Sunshine expert. Well, first of all, let me make sure we tell everybody how they can stay connected with Natasha Halliday. You can go to Natasha A. Halliday on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also go to natashahalliday.com. And that's without the A for the website, natashahalliday.com. All right. Talk to us, Sunshine expert. And I know you closing it up and bringing in the rear, but it's going to be powerful. Sunshine for the whole weekend, everybody. Come on.
Well, thank you so much. First, it's always an honor to be on here. Truly a blessing, and I'm grateful to be joined with all my sisters. And first, I want to give a shout out to all my family that's sitting in another room watching, and you can hear them making different comments on as Sharon spoke, Vicky spoke, and Natasha spoke. And so, it's a blessing to have the family support. So my cousin Marcus, he actually chimed in, and like he said, he's a man, but he's being very encouraged by the words that have been shared on the show. So I'm truly grateful for that. And when I tell y'all, it's like everybody was in my prayer closet. This is always amazing. So what I was going to talk about is moving forward. Somebody already said moving forward. We regroup. We were focusing. We are being intentional. And so for me, when you say moving forward, it's like get ready, set mark, go, right? It's simple. Just do it. Go start to finish, just long as you get it done. We've already heard all of that throughout the show today. So this is just amazing to wrap up. A thought, a decision, a goal, a dream, a vision, whether you go left or you go right. Moving forward is essential to your next move. What does moving look like? It just do it. It's just that simple. It's nothing hard. Nobody's pulling you or tugging at you, telling you to stop. You just got to make the decision to move forward, right? When you move forward, the example that I came up with that was in my spirit, and always just giving honor to God for giving me the words and wisdom to share with everybody, because sometimes it's never about Athena, it's for somebody else. And so that's the great blessing I like when I get a word. So moving forward, if you're opening a bank account and you're going to need your money to save, so you're going to make sure you have your money set aside to deposit it. You're going to make sure you have the proper documents to open and maintain the bank account, right? Then you're going to decide how much money you would like to save, whether that's each week, whether that's each day, or that's each month, right? And as you're moving forward, notice the little steps you're doing to make sure that your bank account stay focused, to make sure that you're staying on track to maintain this bank account, right? And so the next step would be is, now that you have your bank account set up, you have your goals aligned with how much money you're going to save. You also making sure you pay your bills on time. And also making sure you have a little bit of money to save to yourself to spend. All of that comes in your decision making of moving forward. And so what I came up with, and when you say move, I came up with forward. And so I'm gonna be real quick because I know time, to God be the glory. But forward. So F is for fearless and pursuing your purpose. O is for opportunity that awaits you. What's your opportunity that awaits you in moving forward when you make your next step, right? R is for reward. Reward to see your progress as you're elevated to the next step of you moving forward. W is for winning. Winning is to celebrate your victories, because you're doing a new thing. Whether you just came up with the vision, or the vision was given to you, or the goal, or the thought, you're making the conscious decision to move forward in the right direction. So you want to celebrate your victories. There go that word celebrate.
Yeah.
A A is for affirming your actions and your decision making. Whether it's the right decision or it's a wrong decision, but we learn from error. We get strengthened
Yeah.
by our mistakes, right? As Natasha was just talking about, decision paralysis. We don't get stuck on it. We make the adjustments and we move forward, right?
Mhm.
R is for receiving. Receive your gifts and talents that you're given and embrace as you move forward. Because again, it's not only for you, you're going to share it with others. So you got to make sure that you're lining up with the things that you're doing as you receive your gifts and talents and pursuing your purpose. And lastly, D is for divine. Divine as you walk, follow, and is guided in your purpose, whether that's for your next assignment. Again, all of this encompasses around moving forward. So again, to you, I say, what does your moving forward look like? What does it look like? Whether it's fearless, opportunity, reward, winning, affirming, receiving, and divine, you're still choosing to move forward, not to get stuck. Sometimes we got to regroup, refresh, rethink, as we've heard that already. Then you want to make sure that you're sustaining the light, as Sharon said. I like that because I'm the sunshine expert, right? So you let your light shine. So you want to sustain your light. So when I tell y'all, all you got to do is just do it. It's just that simple. This is your sunshine expert on Freestyle Friday. I just dropped by to say, keep moving, move forward. Listen, if you didn't listen to the whole show, replay, because you got some beautiful women that is dropping some nuggets. And Freestyle Friday have a lot of awesome Freestyle Friday experts that drop so much free information. When people want to charge you for it, it'd be crazy for you to miss it when you could go back and look at the replay and get it all together on the Kim Jacobs Show.
You better come through, y'all. Where the pan? Did y'all get collected? Okay, let me tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all. This right here couldn't have been any better than what happened, in my opinion, today. Athena Robertson, right on Facebook. You can also check out Red Honey. That's with 2 eyes. number 7 on Instagram, and she's the owner of Express Notary Public. You can reach her at 980-200-5740. Now, if you're in a different country, you probably gonna just have to reach her on Instagram or on Facebook. Y'all, real quick, tell us a takeaway that you took away from what Athena shared today, y'all.
Wow, that was very, very positive, very encouraging. Filled my whole living room up with sunshine. Fearless, opportunity, reward, winning, affirm, receive, divine, moving forward, move forward. That was awesome. Thank you, Athena.
You're welcome.
Natasha,
You're
go ahead.
welcome.
You had something to say?
Listen, now I see why she said we were in her prayer closet, because I'm like, Athena just came and she go, I'm gonna take some of her. I got pieces of all of it and wrapped it all up in this pretty package. I'm seeing the bow and all kind of things. Girl, I listened that forward. I had to put it in my notes in my phone. I love it. And it is, listen, I'm so the resonating of moving forward and that idea about your gifts and talents. And again, it was so in line with what Vicky said about being in line with your destiny. Come on now. It was like I said mic drop when Vicky was finished, but you just spoke the mic drop. Like it.
That's it.
Bless you, God. Thank you, Lord.
Good, Sharon. What's your takeaway?
Yeah, pretty much. Again, this is very, very positive and powerful. And the thing that resonated with me the most is pretty much when you were talking about opportunities and divine. It's kind of like we have to take those divine opportunities. They work hand in hand together. And as you said, it's almost like for what everyone has said, everything has been in divine order for all of us. So I definitely appreciate you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I know Mama and Daddy over there. I see y'all. I saw y'all on that flight.
This is my first time flying with my parents, and it's such a blessing. I truly thank God. I don't take it for granted, all the life blessings He's given me. And so this was our first time on the plane as we're in, and I'm in New York now. So I'm grateful. And I just want to apologize earlier. My computer shut off. I left my computer by accident at the airport. Thank God that somebody turned it into the police. So they did report my device stolen. So I got to retrieve it, and I got to contact my school and let them know that I have my laptop back. So I had to chime in through my phone, but I'm just thanking God for the ram in the bush. I always got a backup plan.
And you know what? There's still some great people out here in this world. Everybody just says
Amen.
negative things that's going on. But look, somebody turned your computer in. You have it back in your possession real soon. And to God be the glory for that.
Amen. Thank you.
You shared, Athena, I want to say starting September 5th, everybody. And if it's after September 5th that you're watching this replay, every Thursday at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to start having Promise Hour Bible study. Again, this is going in alignment with some things that God has placed in my heart to do, and I have to move forward and be obedient. So it's not about the Kim Jacobs show in this regard. This won't be about the Kim Jacobs show. This is about Jesus Christ and Him crucified and Him living in Him. Okay? So we are going to be standing on the promises of God and our Thursday night Bible studies. Anybody, you can be a part of that. Come in, share your thoughts, and type your comments on Facebook and on YouTube beginning Thursday, 7:00 p.m. And thank you for helping me move forward too in what God has purposed for me to do. Athena,
Athena, if you get a chance, since you're in New York, make sure you go to Junior's and get some cheesecake. It is so delicious if you're in Manhattan.
And if you back on the flight, bring it back. No, just I ain't gonna let you do it.
They're not paying me to say that either.
Okay, so Juniors over in New York City, make sure y'all know that you have an advocate right here on the Kim Jacobs Show, which is the person that wants to have her plays in New York. So Juniors, you might have, Juniors, sincerely, you may have some pull in the New York City area. Go ahead and talk to some of those decision makers, and let's make Vicki L. Evans' dream come true for her to be able to start doing her performances in New York City. Let's claim it today. If you believe that this can happen, I want you to put in the comment section that I believe God. I believe
God. Yes.
I'm going to say next New York, and after that, Toronto, Vicky.
Yes.
All right. Come on now. You do New York first, and then you start crossing the border, baby.
And who said
I
be in a
received
specific
that.
order?
I received.
So it could be Toronto first. Who knows? Since you just put that out in the atmosphere, whatever. We don't have any.
God knows he already had his plan.
That's right. Okay, my final thing, y'all. I'll let you know. If you have not sent any type of contribution to the Kim Jacobs Show, the only way this program thrives is because of contributors like yourself, community members. We come on Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only way we can keep this level of programming going is by getting contributing funds from community members. So take a moment, put any amount to the Kim Jacobs Show. You can do the $ Kim Jacobs Inc. or Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. You can even Zelle 704-962-7161, and you can become a Patreon member or even a Mother Dreamer member as well. And if you are screenshotting that, everybody smile, because sometimes people be screenshotting. I'm like, don't be having me on that line. Jeez. All right, y'all. That's today's episode. Thank you all for being our experts here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Do you want one quick 20-second closing comment, Sharon? Real quick.
Yeah, pretty much when it comes to grief, just remember to fortify yourself so you can have the strength to be in the light. All right. Sunshine expert, say something.
Hey, get moving, move forward.
Get moving, move forward. All right. Natasha, say something.
If you're overthinking, pump the brakes. Remember, your thoughts are just your thoughts.
All right. And close us out, the woman of many hats, getting ready to perform in New York City soon. Vicki L. Evans, tell us a thing or two.
I just want you to know, no matter how old, whatever your age is, you're not too old and it's not too late. Come on, carry that ball across the finish line.
All right. Go to the fourth quarter with some intensity. You got it going. All right, everybody. Mackenzie, you can take us away. I love you all. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time.